Students at a Chicopee school expressing their frustration with their staff and administration. This after the Paulo Freire Social Justice Charter School announced plans to permanently close their doors at the end of the school year.
It's a decision students say has impacted their learning environment. Western Mass News reporter Maria Wilson joins us live in studio with the latest from today's protest. Maria.
Chris, Mary, students at the charter school say they're hoping conditions at the school will improve during the last 3 months of the school year. Today's protest coming 2 months after the Board of Trustees at the Paulo Freire Social Justice Charter School voted to surrender its charter at the end of the school year in June. Western Mass News spoke with students who say their learning environment has been compromised since the school announced its closure back in January.
You can't expect us to stay in a classroom where there's no teacher and we're not being taught. We are trying to advocate for ourselves and they're not allowing us to. It's not fair.
Soraro and other students we spoke with say they have not received any report cards this year and many of their classes have been understaffed. They also tell us without these report cards, it has become difficult for seniors to apply to colleges. We reached out to the charter school for comment, but we have not heard back at this time. Reporting live in studio, Maria Wilson, Western Mass News.
Thanks.